Welcome to Dorking Out. My name is Sonia Mansfield. Y'all ready for this? Give me some spirit fingers. Come on, Margo. Spirit fingers. Let's see them. Doing it. Joining me is my podcasting sister from another mister and the co-host of Dorking Out, Margo D. Hello, my friend.
Hey, my friend, don't mind me. I'm throwing my cats in basket tosses here.
Careful. Don't hurt your back. We are dorking out about 2000's Bring It On. It's written by Jessica Benninger, sure, and directed by Peyton Reed. He did Down with Love. Did you ever see that one? Because I remember thinking it was real cute.
I remember it's adorable.
And then
Everybody Drink.
And then he did the Ant-Man movies. Speaking of adorable, Paul Rudd.
I like those movies.
They are really good, and I've been thinking about showing them to my soon-to-be 11-year-old son.
Aww.
Happy birthday week for Calvin. So this movie stars Kirsten Dunst, Eliza Dushku, Jesse Bradford, Gabrielle Union. Beautiful Gabrielle Union. She's gorgeous in this movie.
Breathtaking.
Let me start with this. Did you see Bring It On in the theater?
No. No. I was a 20-something in New York.
Yeah.
Doing my thing.
Yeah. So I saw this in the theater, and so my sister and I had a thing where we were going to the movies pretty consistently on like Friday nights. I was working at the newspaper. I had Fridays off, and like Friday nights we would go to the movies. And this time we invited my mom, because of course we did. And I was like, there wasn't really much else opening that weekend. So I was like, oh, let's just go see Bring It On. And they were like, I guess. And the theater was packed with like teenage girls. So it was like teenage girls and me, like 20-something Sonia, her 20-something sister, and their mom. It was all teenage, not even a joke. And it was in the, Margo will know this, and anyone who lives in the Bay Area will probably know this. It was in the Century Theater in Pleasant Hill. So it was in the huge dome theater. It's this like gigantic screen, like definitely like built for IMAX movies, basically. Like it's this huge theater showing Bring It On, a movie about cheerleading, packed with teenage girls and these two 20-somethings and their mom. We stood out very much so for opening night of Bring It On. But I have to say, at the time, pleasantly surprised at how enjoyable the movie was. This rewatch, there's some stuff that I was like, but there's other stuff I really like. Do you like the movie? Out of curiosity?
I haven't seen it in a long time. I remember thinking it was cute when I've seen it on TV.
Yeah.
I don't think I've like sat down and watched it. I think it's just been on, and I've taken it in, but I've never really like paid attention to it. Mm-hmm. This is the first time I've really watched in a long time. I didn't like it at first. It was a little dated for me, and some stuff I found bothersome.
Super 2000s.
Very 2000. It's like almost like a parody.
Yes.
Like I felt like it was just almost like one of those parody movies, like Leslie Nielsen's going to come in and do something goofy to like make fun of it.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Apparently, like Police Squad is coming through.
Yes, it's fine. It works.
But anyway, the halfway point when they finally get to the damn competition, and they're actually like the thing is propelling forward, that's when I really started enjoying it.
Me too. On this so when I first saw it in the theater, I was like, oh, this is actually more fun than I thought it was going to be. It's super cute. Kirsten Dunst is adorable. Everybody drank. Like, I liked it when I saw it and thought it was, like I said, cuter than I thought it was going to be. This rewatch, I wished it had leaned more into the cheerleading world, you know, because there is like a very specific culture to cheerleading, just like Dance Moms, just like kind of like what they've done with Pitch Perfect movies, like the whole like a cappella thing. Like I feel like they could have leaned in on that stuff even more and it would have been super fun. But this one leans more into like the high school aspect and the, you know, her relationship with the boy, with Jesse Bradford, you know, things like that it's fine, but I would have liked more cheerleading stuff. Like, and when they finally go to the competition, I was like, this is when it gets really interesting.
I think it's, I mean, we have Kirsten Dunst, and it's beautiful San Diego. That's where my friend Margo lives. And it's a very white kind of universe. It's the #1 school for cheerleading in the country. And she's done cheerleading in the past, and she looks like it. She just looks like this bubbly blonde. And she has a boyfriend. He's a year older, and he's going to college, and this is going to be her senior year. And there's a woman, there's the redhead. What is she called? The ginger something?
She's Big Red. That's
Big Red.
I don't think we ever get a name. Yeah, they just call her Big Red. We never
get her name, but Big Red runs the joint. And it turns out that they steal their moves from a team in Compton. And that's run, that team is with Gabrielle Union. And they know that they're stealing their moves. And Kirsten Dunst and their crew don't realize that.
Yes.
And so when they're going out to compete and they're winning, they're winning with somebody else's moves. And I don't know why she didn't know that, but she didn't know that. And there's the whole thing where Eliza Dushku, is that who it is? Yeah, where she's a new kid, and she's the one that shows Kirsten Dunst, like, she's from LA, which they're cooler in LA than they are in San Diego, I guess. They're a bunch of squares comparison.
I guess.
But she has a brother, so the brother and Kirsten Dunst have like a flirtatious thing, and he's wearing a Clash t-shirt, and she doesn't know what that is. Like, she's smart and ditzy at the same time. They always do that to her.
Yeah, I'm like, what did she say? She's like, is that your band? He's like, the Clash. That's how we know Cliff is supposed to be cool, right? Because he's like his Clash shirt and his like Ramones poster, and you know, they
all do that, and it's all like the director. Like, I read the IMDb trivia. It was like it all came from his closet. I'm like, of course it did.
Of course it did.
I mean, and we all dated guys like that. That was in there. That was all their closets. Okay, and we stole those T-shirts, of course. But anyway, so she's okay. Here's my first thing.
Yes.
Her boyfriend is clearly gay, right?
Well, so here's the whole thing. Like, okay, so I hadn't seen the movie in a little while, and I was like, he's gay, right? That's going to be the thing.
That's the thing.
But then they show him, like, cheating on her with other women, so he's not. But, like, it's very strange to me, because I feel like they made him seem, I guess, the stereotypical gay cheerleader type, but he's actually sleeping with other women, so I guess not. And but he is like a strange character, like the way he talks, and
it's very
yeah. And go ahead.
Not there's anything wrong with that, of course, but
Correct.
We're just
not there's anything wrong with that.
Exactly. We were talking about Seinfeld before we got on the air. Who are these people?
Who are these people?
What? So it's this very white world, and then there's very more of a black world, and there's sort of this I don't know, there's a lot of like they're supposed to change their routine, so they hire this guy to give them new moves who's jacked up on all the pills.
Yeah, he's like,
which that did make me laugh.
Yeah, he's taking tons of pills, and he's like, everything is like jazz hands, spirit fingers, like really, like a
fat
really
shaming.
Yeah, a ton of fat shaming. There's also a lot of like gay panic stuff,
and gay slurs.
Yeah, and gay slurs in this movie about the male cheer. There's all these little hints throughout the movie of like what I think would be better movie. This movie, by the way, it's fine. It's super cute. It's fine. But
it's 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it could have been better if there's these hints that so the men who are on the cheerleading squad are getting bullied by the football team because they're like, oh, you're on the cheerleading squad and that's super gay, and one of the men is gay and the other one isn't. And there's this conversation that they have in the car about being on the cheerleading squad, about people thinking you're gay, and one guy's like, I'm not gay, I'm straight, and the other one's like, I'm controversial. That's what he says. And I was like, this is a really interesting thing that they then never explore. And then
they don't have the guts to deal with it.
Yeah, and there's just little things like that throughout the movie where I was like, oh, if they just leaned in a little bit more, that would have been a really interesting thing. Or when they're at the cheerleading championships, there's these kind of dance moms who are there, spraying their hair, all the stuff with how their hair all looks. Almost all of them have the same high ponytail, curled, hair sprayed. And I'm like, why? Why is that a thing? There's all these things that if we just gotten a little bit more. I do think that it also shows how athletic these teams can be, but it doesn't. And I think the Netflix series probably gets into that cheer Netflix series that I never watched, but this one hints at it again, that they are a lot of these people on these teams are basically gymnasts. They're doing flips. They're flying in the air. They could be injured. There's a risk involved. And they, once again, hint at it, but don't go as deep into it as they could. And that's interesting, too.
Yeah, it's a sport, and they should be treated as a sport, and they aren't. And that's a place they could have been leaning into it. They also could lean into more about, the football team sucks, but the cheerleaders are great. I mean, that could have been a little bit more. It was weird, that one scene where there's one game they're cheering at home in the bit, and the opposing team cheerleaders do a cheer.
Yeah.
And then they're so, like I said, this squad is almost completely white, except for an Asian girl.
Correct.
And the other squad is multiracial. And all of a sudden, so Kirsten Dunst's team goes back, they're going back and forth, and they're like, "You're going to pump our gas." Yeah. That looked really kind of fucking. I was really taken aback. I was like, this isn't fun. That's not a great retort. I'm not kind of sure where this is going. And then Compton shows up, and and every time Compton shows up, all of a sudden it's 50 Cent and Cisco and all that. It's not subtle. Mm-mm. It's very that tone kind of changes.
Yeah.
Once again, it is 2000. Yeah. It's better than a lot of movies and at that time, and there were a lot of teen movies that came out back then. I did, but it was interesting that they had these two different cultures and two different schools. And Kirsten Dunst is kind of learning that there's this other squad, and they never really get their chance,
right?
Because of these women. These girls. There's also a whole scene where they're in the locker room in their underwear, and they're under 18. I'm like, was this really necessary? I mean, they're beautiful, but come on, it's a
little leery. It's
very leery, very male gazy, very leery. And it's she is beautiful, but she's 17. This isn't a Warrant song. Of course, they play a Warrant song while we're there. That did make me laugh.
That made me laugh too.
I love me a good tryouts scene, an audition sequence. I am in when you do that. And one girl shows up singing Cherry Pie and dancing along. That did make me laugh. I was like,
because that was definitely a thing in the early 90s. The song in particular, I was like, nice choice.
And one guy comes and he's doing the modern dance. He goes, "This isn't Pippin?" That did make me laugh. That was good.
Yeah, and
I mean, these kids have a lot of autonomy. There's no teachers anywhere like
Correct.
doing anything about what's going on here.
No, they have like there's no adults doing really much of anything. I mean, we get some stuff with Kirsten Dunst's parents, but it's, just for like a second, really.
Yeah.
And I do want to talk about the Clovers. That's the other team. The movie is talking about cultural appropriation, which I don't know. A lot of other movies don't. Like, right. I was like, I'm like, I actually like give them a little credit for tackling something that's not usually talked about in these kinds of movies. And I feel like it is trying to, like, I like the character that Kirsten Dunst plays because she is trying to do the right thing. Why she doesn't know that these things are stolen in the first place, they make it clear that like Big Red had been like taping these and like pretending that I guess she was choreographing them and things like that. I appreciate that the Torrance character wants to do the right thing. She makes some mistakes along the way and, spoilers for Bring It On, but their team doesn't win. And I think that that's a nice touch.
That's a good ending.
That's a good, and I love when she says, like, where he's like, how does it feel to be second? And she said, feels like first. Like, because they actually tried to be the team that they thought they were the whole time, right? Where they did their own choreography and they got to second place on their own and they're all proud of themselves at the end. And I was like, that's cool. Like, I like that. And I feel like the right team wins at the end. And the East Compton Clovers, they're awesome. I'm like,
they're fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Every time. Yeah. Every time they perform, it is like a whole other level. And the audience really reacts to it. Good reaction shots from the audience. I think the music's fun.
Yeah.
But it's like there's just a lot of weird sequences.
Yeah.
It's a little long until they get to the competition. Mm-hmm. Once they get to the competition, like you said, there's a bunch of missed opportunities. And maybe I used to watch a lot of these competitions on ESPN because it just used to be filler on ESPN back in the day.
Yeah.
They used to do that in aerobics championships, and I would watch them because they just were so goofy and fun. I just thought they were hilarious. I used to enjoy it, and those curls on the hair and the makeup and everything. It's like those basket tosses. Jesus Christ, they go so far up in the air. Like, it's a real spectacle.
Yes,
and they work so hard for like that 2 minutes 20 seconds that they get out there.
It's really interesting stuff.
Yeah, and I don't think they do enough of that.
Yes.
I think it is hard, to get backstage at a thing like this and make it cohesive, that, what side is going on and then caring about them. I think that it's kind of cute. Like, she's kind of giving them like, all right, stay on the mat, make sure you do that. And, that they don't hate each other.
Yeah, there's no bad guys here.
They're competitive with each other. But they're not assholes about it. Yeah. They're being fair. They want a fair fight. Everybody wants a fair fight.
Yeah.
They just want to win fair and square.
Yeah.
Fair is fair.
Fair is fair.
So that's the Legend of Billie Jean.
Which is on our list.
Yes.
Yeah. There's really no bad. I mean, I guess Big Red could be your bad guy or the boyfriend that cheats on her. But she
doesn't care.
But she doesn't even care.
She had no interest in him. Please. Yeah. At one point, she's like, what's his last name? The boyfriend.
Oh, my God. I don't even. Let's see.
Handsome. Like, it was so funny the way the teacher said his last name.
I'm like, where is he in this list? Where his name was Aaron, right? How come I don't see him? Yeah, I don't remember his last name. Sorry.
The way the teacher said the last name, because the second she meets him, she's like making eyeballs and stuff. Because the whole time, every time she's with her boyfriend, she's just like didn't care.
Oh,
so
Pantone.
Pantone. Yeah, she said pant one. She said pant one.
Well, that is
laugh for some reason.
That is so me. Actually, I would pronounce his name that way. I almost said that's so teacher, but it's so Sonia because I fuck up everyone's name so much.
But he's funny. I don't know what he's
Yeah.
done lately, but he's cute. He's definitely somebody I would have thought was cute when I was in high school.
For
college,
sure.
For sure. The
He's-
shirt, all of it.
Yeah, he's real cute. I get it. And like I think Eliza Dushku is always super fun to watch. I loved Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She was on that. She was beloved on that show because she's someone who's really fun to watch. I think so anyway. And I think she's really good in it. I just, once again, I wish it had leaned more into the culture of cheerleading, and it hints at it every once in a while. And that stuff is my favorite stuff.
There's more they could have done with it, especially like when the crazy psycho came in and was telling them to like lose weight. I mean, as jarring as that was, I'm sure that happens. I'm sure there's a ton of that. And it is like so dangerous. When you do watch like the Netflix cheer show, it is a very dangerous sport. Like you could get injured. And when they're out there, like you do just have those 2 minutes and that's that. And you work so hard for those 2 minutes. And it's all the makeup and that doesn't, they still the same thing. Like nobody ever just says, let's just not do that anymore.
Right.
They don't. They still do that. And I think it's fun. The music's fun. It's very year 2000.
For sure. In the year 2000.
But that's not so bad. And I do like a gag reel at the end of the movie over the credits.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's because we grew up watching the Cannonball Run. That's why.
That's Captain Chaos.
All of those movies ended with like a gag reel of like Burt Reynolds just blowing his lines and laughing, and
Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. like all drunk and
so drunk
each other up.
So
these
drunk.
Rosemary bleeds. These ones here.
These bleeds. That's a deep cut.
That always make me laugh.
Oh my god, we should do the Cannonball Run movie soon because
I love those movies.
That would be really fun, and my kid would freak out. He would love the Cannonball Run. That's my prediction. So, all right, that's going on the list. I'm like, what else? I'm going to go through the my notes here. Let's see. We get cheating boyfriend. Who cares? There's a cute scene with Cliff and Torrance flirting while they brush their teeth. And I like how she covers her mouth when she spits. Such a lady.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't do that. We got jazz hands, fat shaming. Let's see, what else? Oh, I read about some other people that were considered for roles. Would you like to hear some of that?
Sure.
So for Cliff, that's the Jesse Bradford part. Apparently James Franco was considered.
Yeah, I could see that.
And Jason Schwartzman.
I could see that.
And I was like, that both of those make sense to me.
I think Jason Schwartzman's adorable, by the way.
He is adorable. Everybody
He really is hot, yeah.
I agree. James Franco, I could hard pass, but
yeah,
he might have been fine in this role, but I like Jesse Bradford. I think he's very cute. He's cute.
He's very cute.
Yeah. And then for the role that Kirsten Dunst plays, apparently they originally wanted Marley Shelton. Do you remember her? She was one of those actresses who she did Sin City. She was in Quentin Tarantino's Grindhouse. She showed up in Pleasantville, Never Been Kissed.
No, not ringing a bell.
Yeah. If you saw her face, though, you might be like, oh, yeah. Because there was there was like Allie Lauder, Amy Smart, Marley Shelton, like all these
beautiful blondes.
Yes. That that you were like, whatever happened to them? Like, I don't know. They got their like one shot and then it like didn't work out for them for whatever reason. Also, I wanted to ask you, have you seen, I suspect the answer is no. Have you seen any of the sequels? No. I also haven't. And I went to look up. I was like, I knew there was like 2 other sequels. There are 6 sequels.
I saw a huge amount of them on my Kindle. I could not believe that.
Yeah.
But I can at the same time. Like, if this is your jam, it's easy to make others. You just get two different kinds of girls to be the leads. Yeah.
So there's Bring It On Again. I don't, as far as I know, none of these have the same characters. I don't know. Bring It On, All or Nothing.
All or Nothing.
Bring It On, In It to Win It. Bring It On, Fight to the Finish.
What do they beat each other up?
I guess. Bring It On, Worldwide Cheer Smack. Sure. And then this last one.
Will Smith.
Yeah, Will Smith is in that one.
And Chris Rock.
Maybe I'd watch that one. And then the last one that just came out like this month is called Bring It On, Cheer or Die. And it's a horror movie. Like a horror comedy.
That might be good.
Yeah. I'm like, I might put that on for my October watch list.
You know? A cheerleader horror movie sounds good. I'm sure it's been done to death.
I don't know. I think I'm
so to speak.
Oh,
so to
I don't
speak,
get it.
Sonia.
I don't get it. Yeah. All right. Do you want to hear some of the other movies that came out in August 2000?
I do.
Okay. Coyote Ugly.
I did like Coyote Ugly. I've been to that place. The original.
Yeah. Did you dance on the bar?
Fucking A. And the guy that ran the place bought me and my friends a round of drinks because we were really whooping it up, as Vicky would say. We were having a great time. And then I went back home to California, and then I heard that he died of a heroin overdose like the next day.
Oh, my God.
It was really sad. He was a really cool guy. He's like, y'all are having fun. You are drinking up. I'm just getting buying you all a shot right now.
Nice.
We're like, woo!
I have never been to that bar, but if I mean, I would go now and dance on the bar. I don't care.
It was Cowgirl Hall of Fame, or was it someplace else? But it was the inspiration for that. I don't know if it's still there. When you come out to New York, we'll find someplace. We'll bring your son.
I'm like, my son's like, no.
Cover your head. Earmuffs, Calvin.
Earmuffs. I can't get Calvin into a bar. We have to put a little mustache on him. I'm 21.
With his little iPad, just ignoring us.
Totally sitting in a corner playing Roblox with his mustache on.
Groucho glasses or something. And a baseball cap.
So awesome. I was going to ask you, like, were you, I suspect you were not a cheerleader.
No.
Like, were you like friends with cheerleaders or like remotely connected to any cheerleading world? Because I was not.
I had a lot of friends who were. I was never into gymnastics.
Right.
I'm not coordinated, so I just can't do like flips and stuff. I have an inner ear thing. I get dizzy when my head goes backwards. I can't do the backwards headstand.
Margo's really more of a rocker chick, so I don't know.
I'm a rocker chick.
Yeah.
I know people think it was my personality. They were like, "Oh, you were a cheerleader. You're very enthusiastic." I'm like, no, I mean, I've cheered my friends. I had friends in the band too.
Gotcha. That makes
marching
sense.
Band, no, I was actually more sporty.
See, I was nerdy. I knew of cheerleaders, but I was never in their vicinity. Okay.
Yeah, they do those backflips, and I'm like, hell no.
No, I can't do any of that stuff. I'm not flexible. So Coyote Ugly, we did that. Hollow Man.
That movie's creepy as shit. I
have never seen it.
I don't like it.
Okay. Space Cowboys.
That's the one with the old guys going to space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what I like to call a dad movie. My dad loves movies like Space Cowboys.
I think my dad probably would love that too. Yeah.
The Tao of Steve.
Oh, what's his face? The lead.
Donald Logue.
God, my roommate interviewed him, said he was great.
Oh, I'm so glad.
For this movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
She was a freelancer. Yeah, she said it was really sweet.
Autumn in New York.
Is that Whoopi Goldberg? Is that Woody Allen. Woody Allen, Whoopi Goldberg. You could they're basically the same person.
This is the one with Winona Ryder and Richard Gere.
Oh, they're dating.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like 50 and she's 20.
Yes. Yeah. And I think she's dying.
One of them dead chicks movies.
Yeah. I think
Charlize Theron does one too.
Oh, that's Sweet November. We've gotten requests for Autumn in New York and Sweet November, and we just can't
do a double.
Oh my God. Why don't we just do that? Because way we don't have to do them in separate episodes. We'll just do one.
We'll just shit all over.
Shit all over him in one episode.
Make fun of it. Yeah.
They both have these diseases where they seem to get
Young.
more. Oh my God, and dying young. They all have diseases where they just get more beautiful the sicker they get. It's so weird.
Yeah.
The Replacements.
Is that a football movie?
Yes.
Adam Risky would know that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Keanu Reeves is in this one.
Oh, he's hot in that one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to sit back for a minute. Keanu 2000.
Oh.
What?
The Cell. Do you know
The Cell? No.
That's the one with Jennifer Lopez and Vince Vaughn. And it's like, I think he's a killer and she's a therapist. It's visually.
Does she have a cell phone, or it's not? That's before.
No, I think it's more like a cell, like a prison cell. I don't know.
No, thank you.
I remember visually the movie was very interesting, but I don't know. Maybe I would like it more now. This one I definitely saw in the theater. The Original Kings of Comedy. Do you know this one?
No, who's in this?
It's a stand-up comedy special. It was directed by Spike Lee, and it had like Bernie Mac and Steve Harvey.
Oh, I love Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac made me laugh really hard, and I thought his show was really funny.
His show was great.
Yeah. And that one hurt a little. That one hurt.
That one hurt a lot, yeah.
Okay, 2 more movies. Steal This Movie.
Michael Moore.
And then Cecil B. Demented.
Oh, that's
the John Waters movie.
Gotcha.
Which I didn't like. I didn't like this one.
I haven't liked a lot of Waters. Yeah. It's not one of his better ones.
It's no Hairspray.
No. Do you want to hear about the top songs?
Yes, I do.
So this is August 26th, 2000. Number 10, Vertical Horizon, Everything You Want.
I like that song.
Gave that song. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's okay. Aaliyah, Try Again. Good song.
Gosh, she was so good.
R.I.P.
Yeah, really.
9 Days, absolutely. Story of a Girl.
Oh my God, that
remember
could be just like the Vertical Horizon song. They're almost, they're so similar.
Rough Ends, it's RUFF ENDZ, No More.
I don't know that one.
Obviously, I don't know that. In Sync, It's Gonna Be Me.
It's gonna be me.
Joe by Jive Records, I Want to Know.
I don't know this one either. I'm feeling old.
I'm Destiny's Child. This was Destiny's Child was out. Jumpin'.
That's a good song.
Yeah, that's a great song. Matchbox 20, all in small caps. I guess that's how they used to list themselves.
Oh.
Bent.
Oh, okay.
Help me, I'm bent. I think
it's better than Smooth. I'll take it.
No Smooth, thank God. Christ on a cracker, that song.
I'm surprised.
Cisco.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Cisco, Incomplete.
Oh, no, I only know one Cisco song.
That's all I know.
Yeah.
And then Janet Jackson, Does It Really Matter?
I love Janet.
She is pretty great.
Yeah, she is. So what else are you dorking out about?
I'm looking at my notes, Sonia. So Netflix is, well, first I want to say on Apple Plus, there's a documentary about Sidney Poitier.
Ooh.
That Oprah produced it. and I'm trying to remember who the director is, and I'm a pox upon me for not remembering. It has some of the best people ever to do the talking heads. He just passed away this summer. He has Barbara Streisand, Denzel Washington.
Oh my gosh.
It's got like
Yeah.
really good people, like because Oprah's involved and
Yeah.
it's Sidney Poitier, but a really good documentary
Okay.
about him.
I would
And
love to
it's
watch
got
that one.
Lenny Kravitz, who, forgive me, he gets more and more fuckable every
What the-
year.
Seriously, what kind of like magic is
What's-
this?
Sexy poison did Roxy Roker have in her
Seriously.
that she gave to her son? Because he's the talking. I mean, he just, oh my God, he's so beautiful. Anyway, Sidney Poitier was a wonderful actor.
Yeah.
Had a very interesting life story, and far more complex of a man than I think I gave him credit for. Really, really good documentary, and it's on Apple.
Okay.
And it's going to really make you want to watch his movies and go back and look at his catalog.
Yeah.
And then, so everyone's talking about Blonde.
I haven't started it yet. Yeah.
It's coming out. It's the 27th. So it's the 26th we're recording. I'm sure I'm going to try to watch it. It's mostly like, oh my God, this is fucking disgusting. It's a real travesty against Marilyn Monroe. I've been trying for months to get the book on my Libby app, and I finally got it. And I'm trying to read it. It's really a tough read.
Okay.
It's just not drawing me in. I don't know what it is. I mean, Joyce Carol Oates is not easy anyway.
Right.
For me, it's not like Stephen King or somebody.
Right.
I could just dive in and go. But I didn't know this, and I don't know. Nobody is talking about this. No one. So you and I, Sonia.
Okay.
Exclusive. There was a TV movie that came out in 2000 or 2001, around the time of this movie. And it was with Poppy Montgomery. And she's from that show Missing, I think it was.
Okay.
She plays Marilyn Monroe. And it was a 2-night thing. And it's the same material.
Okay.
And if it's like what I think it's like that, it sounds like it's going to be really depressing. And
right.
a real frickin' downer. So I don't know. It's like, do we need another Marilyn Monroe movie? Do we need another, boy, was she abused and boy, was she taken advantage of? Like that story is her victimhood.
Yeah.
Is so tiresome.
Maybe it needed the like Elvis treatment, like they did with the Baz Luhrmann
Baz
movie.
Luhrmann?
Yeah.
You can have Joe DiMaggio in a fat suit with Tom Hanks and a bad accent.
I'm like, maybe? I'm like, because at least it's like a different take on a familiar story.
Well, that's what I liked about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm like, maybe
I think you're onto something.
Maybe that's the only way you can tell an Elvis story now is that way. So maybe they need to do the same for Marilyn Monroe.
We'll see. I'm reading all this stuff because I'm trying to read the Joyce Carol Oates book, and yikes, no. Right. And like I said, it took me like 2 or 3 months to get it from the Brooklyn Library. It's because they keep like I don't know if she did this in real life, but she calls all men of any kind of significance daddy.
Ew.
And I mean, maybe she did in real life, but just because something happened in real life doesn't mean you have to use it.
Right.
Especially, it's fictionalized nonfiction, which is the worst. And she did all of her research on Marilyn, but she did her research in the 80s, which is not like internet research.
Right.
I don't know. It's a long way of me saying like I'm worried about how awful it's going to be.
Right.
Like, is it going to damage me or something? How interested are you in this movie?
I was kind of interested, but now I'm like, it sounds like it might be too depressing. But I'm like, I still might watch it.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it, I think, but I'm worried it's going to be super upsetting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I might have to do it in small chunks or something. Yeah.
Good call. Good call. All right. I mean, it's on my list. Like, they Netflix has already recommended like coming soon, and I was like, yeah, put it on my
and
list.
also British Bake Off. That's back in
Netflix. The opposite. Pure joy.
Pure joy. It's just the people on that show, the contestants are so sweet.
Yes.
They're so loving. They're so nice.
They help each other.
They're happy for one another. I just love it.
I know.
I mean, that opening segment is always just like, can I just write it? Can anybody
it's
just
so
like,
cringe every
so
time.
Dumb. Like, do they really need to do it?
Maybe that I'm like, is it supposed to be dumb? Or do they think they're clever?
That's my question.
Yeah.
Like, is there somebody out? I don't know.
I get it. Part of me thinks that they do it that cringy on purpose, but I can't be sure.
I just don't understand the point of it. It's like, seriously, you could just start it with,
for sure.
Hi, welcome to the British Bake Off. They just do their thing. Because they already do enough weird patter already when they're at the blenders and shit. Like,
it's true.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would rather have an extra minute with the contestants than the minute we get at the beginning with the judges and all that. Like, I don't.
We're doing a Star Wars riff this week.
I'm like,
we're doing.
Yeah, same. Seconded.
But whenever that one guy, Paul Hollywood.
Yeah.
When he shakes somebody's hand, I get so excited. Like, I just sit there and I'm like, I get a little teary-eyed for a second. Like, good for you.
Yeah. Oh, God, I love that show. You want them all to do well. You want them all to do well. I want
them all to win.
Yeah.
I want them all to win. I want them all to do well. I want them all to have a good experience from it. I want them all to, and they all do. Like, you hear about from these people, and they all go back and they all just are enhanced by it. And I'm so happy about that.
Yeah. I mean, they all become friends with each other, and yeah, I love the Great British Baking Show. I'm always so happy when it's back. That
tent out with the grass and the rabbits and the castle.
I wish they air conditioned the tent though, because I always feel bad.
You can feel how hot they are.
Yeah. I'm like, it feels unfair to make them battle the elements.
When somebody's like, I forgot to turn the oven on. You're like,
horrified. Fuck. Horrified when that happens.
Oh,
so good.
Maybe I'll microwave it. No, it's not going to work. Sorry.
No, it's not going to work. I'm going to be baking a cake later today. I'll post some pictures if it turns out okay. Actually, I'll post pictures no matter what. Even if it turns out shitty, I'll post the picture. Because I am real. Whether it's good or bad,
real.
I am real. I've been getting ready I'm already ready for like October. So I started watching the 101 scariest movie moments of all time on Shudder. And it's like, and they're doing, it's episodes. So it's like weekly episodes on Wednesday, and they cover like, they do like 9 or 10 movies every episode. And they are talking about the scariest moments in those movies, which I am a little worried that I'm spoiling certain movies for myself that I haven't seen, but I'm still watching them anyway, and I'm adding movies to my list. They're showing scary moments. They have like talking heads with like different actors and critics and scholars about scary movies and why this thing is scary or how it fits into horror's like timeline and all that stuff. I really, really like it, and I'm adding all kinds of movies to my list. So I like stuff like that. Do you ever watch stuff like that?
I love stuff like
the
100 best films of the 90s. All that shit. Yeah.
I realize that these lists are subjective and silly, and do I agree with the rankings? Probably not. But at the same time, first of all, I haven't seen some of these movies, so it's like, sure, that might be one of the scariest things. I don't know. But I don't know. I always walk away from lists like that with more stuff to watch. And I like that. So
There's one they did a few years ago, and it wasn't on Shudder. I forget which network it was on, and I forget the name of the Audition. Oh my God.
what's that?
And it was a movie. It's an Asian movie. I can't remember where in Asia it's from. And Rob Zombie was one of the talking heads, and it's a fucking disturbing movie. And it's so bad that like Rob Zombie was like, I don't even know why they made it.
No.
It's just one of those movies that'll fuck you up. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I don't
really disturbing.
I don't want movies to fuck me up. Like,
yeah, but when Rob Zombie like shudders, it's like, I don't even know why they made it. You're like, oh well, now I gotta fucking see this. 'Cause, like zombies like freaked out. I gotta. Well,
yeah, I don't want a movie to fuck me up. Like, I like to be scared, but I don't want to be fucked up. So there's like certain things I won't watch. Like, I don't like to watch like home invasion movies. Give me like those really, really fuck me up and scare me. So like I tend not to watch those. But I definitely have added a few to the list that I haven't seen, and I'll keep watching it. And I'm just ready.
I forget that I have it. It's on my Amazon channel. Do you know what I mean? When I go to Amazon, I have BritBox. I have all these things that I pay for, and I forget that.
Yeah. Well, they also have, there's two parts. There's something, I think it's called The Search for Darkness, and it's all about like 80s horror. And there's a part 1 and a part 2. I watched part 1 last fall, and that was another one where I was like, I walked away with a lot of recommendations to put on my list, and that one's really good too. And then the second one is like deeper cuts, and I'm like, sure, I'm watching that one too and writing stuff down. But some of them I'm just like, I've never heard of this. And
you know who's heard of them all?
Patrick Bromley over at F This Movie for sure. Like I'm sure he's seen them all.
Yep.
I will never see as many movies as Patrick. That's okay.
Oh, I forgot to mention, sorry.
Yes.
The Blonde movie, if you want to see the other one, it's on, I think Amazon, but it's for free. So it's like IMDb Freezy. You know, they have like a free, it has ads. So you could see like that version, which I don't think it's not NC-17. So it doesn't have that kind of stuff in there.
Gotcha.
In case you want to do a compare and contrast, which I'm going to ultimately do.
Of course you are.
Anyway, so that's Shudder.
Yes, and I also went to the theater and I saw Pearl, which is the sequel to X. And X I just watched a couple weeks ago. It's directed by Ty West, and it's set in the 70s, and they are filming a dirty movie, an adult film, a porno, if you will, on this farm. And it's like the farmer's daughters, and then people start getting killed. It feels like an old-fashioned slasher to me, and I really like it. So Pearl is a prequel to X, and it stars Mia Goth, and she is amazing in this movie. Like, I'm already like preemptively mad that she's not going to be nominated for anything because they don't nominate horror movies really. But it's really, really good. And she's really great in it. And it's definitely horror, but it's not like that kind of horror. It's good. I highly recommend. And there's going to be another. So X set in the 70s, Pearl set in 1918 during the pandemic of 1918. So people are wearing masks, and there's talk of like the germs and all this stuff, which obviously feels relatable.
Topical.
Yes. And now there's going to be a sequel to X that's going to be set in the 80s in Hollywood. So I will be seeing, and it's called Maxine, and it's like Maxine with 3 X's. So
it's another porn one, or?
Yes. Now she's going to be making, I guess, porn in the 80s in Hollywood, probably in the Valley, right? I think that's where they were doing most of that. And some sort of slasher thing is going to happen again. And I'll watch that one too, because I think Mia Goth is really special. Like, she's got something special, and I think I like Pearl even more than X. I think it's really, really great. So, but slashers are not for everybody, so I get it.
No, but it's scary movie season.
Yes, 'tis the season.
'Tis the season for slashing.
And then the last one that also scared me and made me insanely angry is I watched the 2-part documentary series Sins of Our Mother on Netflix. Have you watched anything about this one?
Oh God, the Lori Vallow.
Yes.
Is that her name?
Yes.
The woman who's in the Doomsday Cult.
Yes.
And
it's
they
awful.
couldn't figure out how to get her fucking kids away from her.
It will make you so angry.
I'm so angry for her ex-husband and for all the family.
It's so upsetting.
Yeah.
Her whole thing is they are Mormon. She's Mormon, and she gets kind of involved in like a certain sect of it, and it's this like doomsday sect of Mormonism, and she's married. She has a son who's in his early 20s at this point. She has a teenage daughter, and they have also, her and her husband have adopted like an autistic boy who is 6 or 7, I think. And she also brings in her brother into this, and she's literally like insane. She's insane. She has problems. And people are just like, no, she's just really into her religion or whatever. She has a problem. The husband turns up dead. The brother's like, he attacked me and shot him. And there's footage of like the cops questioning her. And it's like this pretty white woman privilege that she has. Pretty white woman privilege. They're joking with her. Her husband's dead. And she's just joking.
She just doesn't even react.
Yeah.
Or she's just like, yeah, it's a goof to her.
Yeah. And they're just like, oh, like they're just so like smitten with her. It's just written off as like self-defense. Like, it's not really investigated. And then, within weeks, like, she just leaves town with the kids, and then nobody sees the kids again. Then she remarries some other dude. That dude's wife turned up dead. Coincidentally. What a coincidence. They get married. Kids are never seen. Like, people are trying to find the kids, and she's just walking around. She's going to fucking Kauai. No one's doing anything. Like, the press is around her. Where are your kids, Lori? Where are your kids? Like, it boggles my mind that like somebody could commit crime so blatantly and there's like no repercussions, which is still happening with our politicians today. But unrelated rant. It's so upsetting.
It really is. And she's going on trial next year.
Yes.
But I mean, she's clearly, there's something up. Like she's not tethered to reality.
Correct.
But so, I mean, and her ex-husband, I feel horrible for. He's devastated because he's just like, I just want the kids. Just give them to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever you're going through, just you know what I mean? Just yeah.
He was doing everything right.
Right. He trusted the police. He was trusted the system. He was doing everything right. And that asshole that she married, who killed his wife.
Yes.
49, just like drops dead out of nowhere.
Yes.
Hardly any investigation, and then he marries her within a week.
Yes.
They go to Hawaii, and nobody's like, and I get it, like technically, sure, your spouse can die, you can get married a week later, but it's slightly suspicious.
Yeah, just a little. Just a wee bit. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
I mean,
so ridiculous.
I know, it's infuriating, and yeah, like they have a whole body cam of her, and it's like really crisp and clear video. She's just sort of like. It's like she has a smoothie in her hand or something. She's like, oh, what? Oh,
wow. That's too bad.
Well, my other kid's here. I don't think she should go in, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. What are
Well,
we
can
gonna
I
do
go in and
now?
get my wallet? Like, I need my phone. It's just like it's so bonkers. Like, it's really, really upsetting. And I still watch the whole thing. Even when I was watching it, I was like, why am I doing this? Why am I putting myself through this? Because it's so, it's such a punch in the chest because these kids did nothing wrong.
I know, they're just babies, and they're just, there's...
Yeah, and people were trying to do the right things, and it just did not work. And it seems like such a good example of white privilege and pretty white lady privilege specifically. Like, people could not comprehend that somebody who looked like her would do the things that she was doing. It's really fucked up.
Yeah.
But it's only 2 episodes. There's also a Dateline episode about it, because when I was watching it, I was like, I saw this on Dateline.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, you should also, there's something on I think it's Netflix. It's on the Bling Ring. And
I saw that. That just came out today, right?
Yeah.
Or yesterday. I forget. Anyway,
it's the real story behind the Bling Ring, which I never knew about. I remember that the soup would make fun of the girls that were from the Bling Ring because they had their own show on E. Mm-hmm. Like, they just happened. There was this group of teenagers, and they were ripping off celebrities. They were breaking into their homes, stealing their stuff, reselling it. Mm-hmm. And they hit a bunch of people. And just because it's around 2000, by the way.
Yes,
or
again.
maybe just a few years after that. But it was just a time where it was a little bit later, like 2007. But it was like, it was asshole celebrity culture when Perez Hilton was starting to come around, TMZ. And it's Paris Hilton and Lindsay Lohan. Orlando Bloom had a collection of Rolex watches. And it turns out these 4 or 5 asshole kids, high out of their minds, just breaking into homes. And this girl and her mother, and her mom was just so into fame and just wanted her daughters to be famous, and put them on this reality show. And on their first day of filming, they're busted by the police. And so they're on trial. Like, they go on trial, and the Vanity Fair does this profile of them, and Nancy Jo Shales, who's this very popular journalist for Vanity Fair, and the lead girl, what turns out, by the way, she said she wasn't the lead. She just was along for the ride. She was addicted to drugs, and she just happened to be there. Anyway, there's a scene of her, and I remember this from the show. They play on the soup all the time. She calls Vanity Fair, and she leaves a voicemail. She goes, "Hello, Nancy Shales. I need to talk to you about my story." Oh my God, it's bananas.
It's just absolutely going to watch this.
You have to watch this. Yes. I've never seen the movie The Bling Ring.
Me neither.
And it had Emma Watson, I think it was, and some other people. But they were filming. So these kids were ripping this off. This article comes out. These kids had a reality show that was on TV at the same time, and they were getting these like 2 or 3 month sentences. They weren't getting. Correct. I mean, look, there's a lot of crime that happens in LA. Like, how much time are they really going to get? But there was going to be a big trial, and basically Sofia Coppola was filming The Bling Ring at the same time, and one of the lead detectives was in the movie.
Oh my.
And so one of the defense attorneys like, "Are you kidding me? Like,
so Hollywood.
Really?" And so they had to throw the case out. Like, they were like, "Let's just forget it.
Forget it. This is hard."
They're like, "How are we going to get a jury? How are we going to get anything together here?" And so it's like, and they have like Sofia Coppola in her white blouse, like directing them, and the cop taking them to Paris Hilton. But Paris Hilton, by the way, gave them permission to film in her home.
Of course she did.
The one that they broke into. I mean, it's just like,
of course she did.
It's bananas. It's entertaining as shit. It's on. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of it, but you'll find it. The Bling Ring thing.
Yeah, I think it's just called like Netflix. I think it's called The Real Bling Ring.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's really entertaining.
Okay.
But the girl crying in the phone to Nancy J. Shale, I mean, just like, oh my God.
That is definitely getting watched very soon.
Yeah.
Good recommendation, Margo. This was fun. I'm glad we did this one.
This was very fun.
I think so too.
Sonia, I have a book coming out.
Yay! What? This is the first I'm hearing of it.
Yes, it's called Filmed in Brooklyn. You're in my book. I talk to some film people about their favorite movies, but I talk about movies that are filmed in Brooklyn. It's available for pre-order right now. It's coming out October 17th, and it's really, really cool. So look for it under the name Margo Donahue, and you can find me at Brooklyn Fitchick. I've pinned it. You can pre-order a copy. And I'm at Brooklyn Fitchick for Twitter and Instagram. My site is brooklynfitchick.com, and I'm at Margo Donahue on the TikTok.
Everyone pre-order her book. I already did. I can't wait. I'm super proud of you. It's so exciting.
Thank you.
So exciting. I'm flying out to New York in October to go to the book party.
We're having a book party.
We're going to have such a good time. You can find me at thesoniashow.com and The Sonia Show on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok. And if you like dorking out, we also co-host a podcast called What a Creep, where we talk about creeps of the past and the present. And then we end every episode with someone who's not a creep. Our episode out right now is about Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins.
That
big size creep.
Big size creep, correct.
I actually heard from a friend of mine, Sonia, who said that we have turned her off from Tony Robbins. That her boyfriend made her watch a lot of Tony Robbins tapes, and then she now cannot watch them.
Well, you're welcome.
You are welcome.
Yeah, there's other people she could be watching, reading, or listening to. So do that. If you have a request for Dorking Out Show, you can email us at dorkingoutshow@gmail.com. We take requests. Or you could, tweet at us at Dorking Out Show, or write something on our Facebook page at Dorking Out Show Podcast. We, like I said, take requests. This was super fun. I'm glad we did bring it on. It's been on the list for a while, and it was a good conversation. It was fun.
It was so fun. And now, be aggressive.
Be